What I really like about the pre-work curriculum with Magnolia Project is that it's very grounded in realistic and real-world experiences. For example, we worked on the resume in preparation for the interview, and it was so much easier to discuss what they need to put in that piece of information when they had a real-world application of it.
Today, these kids were prepared. They did so awesome. You could tell they were a little bit nervous, as to be expected. They had very poignant answers. They were very succinct. They made great eye contact. If I were interviewing them for an actual paid position, several of those kids would have gotten a call.
The engagement has been great with Magnolia Project, and I think it is, again, because it's tied to sort of this project-based learning. Anytime we can get students thinking about themselves and where they fit into a curriculum is really powerful, and I think that drives the engagement. As a school, I also really appreciated Magnolia Project because they were doing the legwork for me as a teacher so that I didn't have to pick up anything outside of my classroom. They were engaging with my administrator, working with outside businesses and vendors, so that really I was focused on the curriculum, making sure the students were ready, dealing with all that anxiety that comes up on the days before, and focusing on the student rather than all of the world of logistical needs that comes with a program like this.
Really, my class is Introduction to the Trades, and I want to show these kids that there are alternatives to college in the building trades. You know, it's really amazing how adaptive they are. I've taken some quiet kids and watched them flourish.
Here at Tulum Farms, we have been building electric fences and just working with goats. This is a better learning experience for me because I actually get to see what actually takes place in the world.
We have been putting bedding down in the goat barn and feeding and taking care of their dogs. I want to go into agriculture because we get to be outside with animals, and this experience taught me that there's a lot of types of where you can work with animals.
We're excited to expose them to something that they haven't been a part of before. For us especially, there's not a lot of goat dairies, especially in this area, so it's kind of a unique experience that not everybody has the opportunity to be a part of.
At Hog Island, I've been doing research on the water. We've been learning about how the oysters are grown from small seeds to a full oyster. This experience has taught me that I might want to be a marine biologist later in life, maybe after college, and that finding a job that suits you is very important. I love Hog Island because you get to be out here on the water and just the community feels great.
So my mentor Gary, he's a great guy, and he taught me about this being a big picture made of smaller pictures. He talks about farming oysters, cooking oysters, checking oysters. It's all connected, and each unit is very important to make sure the oysters are healthy and happy creatures for healthy and happy people. Gary taught me that I honestly really like farming, whether it's oysters, cattle, crops. I like seeing things from the start to the finish. I love Magnolia Project because it gives me and my fellow students the opportunities to learn the basics of a career and give us an idea of what we want to do later in life.
Especially here at a rural school, we're kind of in a unique situation where it's just that much harder for our students to access a lot of opportunities, a lot of hands-on internships and things like that. The more we can be offering these kinds of hands-on opportunities, more connection to real-world careers and life after high school, the more what we do every day starts to feel really real for them.
I have loved working with Magnolia Project, and I think we should continue working for them because it enables students to control their own future and think about who they want to be, which is a really powerful tool to hand them.